Today agenda is to know about workflow, process builder and email templates. These are very much important concepts and without a question on workflow or process builder there will be no interview. Okay, be careful. Let's see about workflow first. The workflow is an automated business process which is executed whenever a record is created or updated. Workflow is an automated business process which is executed whenever a record is created or updated. We can perform four types of actions using workflow. One is there one email alert, second one field update, fourth one task creation, sorry third one, right, task creation, fourth one outbound message, outbound message, fourth one is outbound message. In workflow we have two types of criteria. One is rule criteria, second one is evolution criteria. First one rule criteria, second one evolution criteria. Rule criteria, evolution criteria. Rule criteria means condition. Rule criteria means condition. And evolution criteria determines that when the workflow should be executed. Evolution criteria determines that when the workflow should be executed. There are three types of evolution criteria. One is created, second one created or updated, created and every time it's edited, created and every time it's edited. Third criteria, created and edited anytime to subsequently meet the criteria. Created and every time it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. Okay. And all four actions can be performed immediately or in some time, means time based. All four types of actions of workflow can be performed immediately after executing the workflow or after some time. That's called time dependent. Means the actions can be performed in two ways. One is immediate actions, second one is time dependent actions. Need immediate actions, second one is time dependent actions. Okay, and so what is immediate workflow actions or immediate actions? So immediate actions means whenever the workflow is executed, immediately the tasks will be executed. Means four types of actions can be performed. Okay. And time dependent means, let's say if the workflow is executed now, and if you want to perform any type of action after some time, maybe after 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or after 4 days, 5 days, something like that, then those are called as time dependent actions. Okay, so maximum number of actions can be performed for workflow is 40. Means 10 email alerts, 10 outbound messages, 10 task creations, and 10 email alerts. Okay, so means total is 40. For each task, maximum 10 tasks can be, 10 times or 10 actions can be performed. That is a limitation in workflow. Okay, let's see how we can do the requirement. So we have two types of objects, right? So this is the lightning experience. Better to go ahead with the lightning experience only. So here, so as we are talking about the workflow, just type workflow however you want. So workflow actions, email alerts, field updates, outbound message, and then task creation. Okay, so then here workflow rules. Okay, so let's say this is the workflow rule. Here we have time based workflows and then actual workflows. Let's see, I'll explain later. So here workflow automates the following types of actions based on your organization process, like tasks, email alerts, field updates, or outbound message. Okay, now okay, let's see here we have two different types of objects like universities and students, right? So now I just need to have some email alert, means whenever a new student is created, let's see, okay, we don't have a field called this one. So uh, in classic version, if you go to any tab or something, you can click sidebar and then you can go see the object, right? So in lightning version, here edit the object. If you click on this, it will go to the object page. So why I am explaining in lightning is, so everyone is asking for the lightning experience. Okay, here you have fields and relationships. Let me create a field called student email. Okay, and so here there is an option called required. Required means it's mandatory, and there is another option called unique. What do you mean by unique? Means if email abc@gmail.com. If you entered once in for any student, then you can't enter the same email for other user. That's called unique. Unique means it should be different. Okay, so once you enter the same value, then you can't enter the same value for another record. Okay, that's called unique. And external id, I will let you know later on this. Okay, external id is used to send the data to the external systems. So when we come up with some data or something, I'll explain it. Okay, and after that, so what is a default value? If the user doesn't give any value, then what should be the value for that? Means, let's say if I give something like, if I give like this, then if user doesn't give any value, then automatically it will be the default value. Okay, now let's say next. It should be given in some formula. So as it is a text, you can give in some like this. Just click on next. Next. Now let's try to create a record for student. Okay. So default value has been given. If you don't give any value, then it will save as it is. And if you want to have different value also, you can give this. Now what I need to do is, when a new record is created with some email address, I just need to send an email alert like, hi, hello student name, hello, something like Nandan, hi Nandan. So your student record has been created with university is this, department is this, something like this. That's like information. Okay, so how can we do this? That if you want to do this, so as we are saying, workflow is an automated business process which executes whenever a record is created or updated. Okay, now we are saying that when a new record is created on student object, and if the email address is not null, then we need to send an email, right? This is called criteria. Criteria means condition. What is the condition? Student email should not be blank, and something, the student is created with something. If you want to have a specific department, if department is science or something, then only if you want to send an email, then that's called as criteria, or let's say condition, that's called as rule criteria in workflow rule. Okay, here let's create a workflow. Go to home page, setup, then type workflow. Okay, so before creating the workflow, so what we need to do, we have to send an email alert, right? So in 4 types of actions, we have one type of action called email alert, which can send an email to the respected person or whomever we want to send. Okay, first let's create email alert, or directly what we can do is create workflow first. Here, continue. Okay, so when you want to create a workflow, just click new rule, select the object. So whenever a record on student object creates, then we need to send an email. So select the student object. Next, give the rule name. So let's say when the record is created, welcome student, I'm giving the name. Okay, now we have 2 types of criteria: evolution criteria and rule criteria. We have already told that. Okay. Now here, evolution criteria, when it should be executed, as we are saying that when the record is created, right? When the record is created and anytime and every time it's edited, then created and anytime it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. These are called evolution criteria. Means if you select first one, so workflow will be executed if the condition is true when the record is created. Means when the brand new record is created. Okay, if you select the second criteria, then what happens is, if you create a record or edit the record, immediately this workflow will be filed. Okay, and third criteria, I'll explain it later. So let's select first one. Okay, so what is the criteria? So in criteria, as we are saying that if student email not equals to blank, right? Not equals to blank, then you don't need to give any here, so as it is blank already. Not equals to blank. And if let's say if you want to department equals to, you can select multiple values also, like I want to send for science and then computers, select. Okay, now here, so this is the condition for us, right? Now let's convert this into the exact formula. So we have formulas, right? While workflow, while working on validation rules, we have some formulas, right? The same formulas also you can use. So you can use this like this. So if you add the criterias like this, the disadvantage is you can add up to 25 lines. Okay, maximum of 20 lines, and 25 lines means 25 conditions you can give it. So if you go for formula, then you can write how much you want. Okay, first one, the condition is student email should not be blank, then is blank condition, not of, is blank of student email is one thing. Okay, is, and then again department should be science or computers, right? So then we know that if you want to see the two pick list values, then is pick value of first one science, then pick list value should be selected, department, and then the same way what you need to do is you have to give science and computers, right? Another bucket for check syntax. No syntax errors. Correct. Now let's go and create. So we have selected the evolution criteria and we have given the rule criteria, means we have given the conditions as well. Now once this is done, on this workflow, now if you want to add actions, you can directly add the actions. So for adding the actions directly, you can create from here you can create like add a new email alert, new field update, new outbound message or something, or select existing actions also. Okay, so what you can say is, let's say before that if you want to create email alert, you can directly create the email alert. Here new email alert, here student welcome email. Okay, just email alert means which sends an email, that's it. Okay, so select the object here. What are the object? Student. Okay, then email template is very much important. For now I'm just selecting the dummy template. I'll explain this how to create this. Just selecting dummy template, and whom do you want to send an email? This is very much required. So here you can select who creates the record. Creator means whoever creates the record, so they can receive the email. Or what they can do is, if you want to send email field, so we need to send to the student, right? So that's called an email field is already exist on the student object, that's called student email. So select the option called email field, so then student email. Okay, so you guys know about the CC, right? So to list and CC list, carbon copy, right? Then if you want to add CC list, you can add up to 5 values here. Okay, then what happens is, whenever a new record is created, the email will be sent to the selected email address as well as the given file email address as CC. Okay, so now let's save this. Here, go to the workflow and now add the alert to that. So here add existing. Here directly select the existing action. So as there is already email alert we have created, so you can select that. Student email alert. So student welcome email. Save it. Okay. Now once this is done, what you have to do is you have to activate the workflow. If you don't activate, then workflow will not run. Okay. Now let me create one student record with email address this, and then department I'm giving science, because it should be science or computers, then only the email will be triggered. College also you can select like this. Then simply, so one more thing, if you want to add active also, then you can add it to the criteria. Student fee 50,000, discount is 10, then save. Okay, now let's see, as I have given the email, this email, then let's go to the email address. See this? Okay, so this is the email we have received. Okay, this is the dummy email because we have not created the email template yet. Okay, so this is how the workflow works when you activate. So these are immediate workflow actions. Means when the workflow is executed and criteria is true, then immediately these actions will be executed. Okay, then time dependent actions are there. So what do you mean by time dependent actions? Means, so very simple thing. I had deactivated this. Edit. Let's see. On the time dependent action, add a time trigger. Means after 30 days of created date, I mean workflow executed date, or let's say even if you give hours of 1 hour after rule trigger date, or let's say before date also. if you want to send some notification, let's say if you observe that if you have postpaid bill or let's say internet bill or whatever the bill it is, they will be sending notifications like, okay, this is amount is due, this amount is due, this amount is due. Okay, once you pay that, then they won't send it. Right? Now, so after, or let's say after 1 hour of trigger date, or let's say student created date. So let's give this trigger date. What I'm going to do is add actions. The same way, however, you have done the same actions. Select existing action. Email alert only. Let me save this. Now let's create another record with same details. Okay. Now there will be one immediate action. Okay. We have not activated the workflow. It is deactivated. 3. Try to save this. Now if you see here, oh sorry, it is not saved yet. Default workflow user has to be completed. See this is the immediate action. We have two things, right? In this workflow we have immediate action, send this email address, and after 1 hour of this execution we have to send another email address. So how can we see if this email alert can be sent after 1 hour or not? Then what you can do is, in monitoring time-based workflow, just go to there, just search here. Here it is. Okay, so this is scheduled date is 9:19 p.m. Okay, so created date is 8:19 p.m. Okay, so why it is showing like this is the user settings. Okay, in company information actually the time will be like this. So default time zone is PST, as here it shows like PST. Just change it to IST. Okay, whatever you want, you can just select, save this. Now go to workflow. Okay, now let's go to the workflows. So when it is submitted 9:49 a.m. on 12th 16 means December 16th, and then when it will be executed 10:49 a.m. Okay, so if you want to delete, you can delete this from the monitoring base. There will be a question that how can you monitor if the time-based workflow is executing or not. Then you can say that in time-based, so you can monitor that, and if you search for the record, and it will be there. Okay, now here let's go to the workflows. So how many time-based actions can be added? So maximum 10 time triggered actions can be added. So we have added one email alert. The same way you can have the 10 actions maximum. Here, so here you can add up to 10 dependent actions. Okay, now let's edit this. If you want to add or remove the time dependent actions or anything, first you need to deactivate the workflow. This is deactivated. Remove this. Here what you can do is remove this. Okay, now let me add another action called immediate action called like new field update. Okay, so this is, let's create anything like active, college, sports, student fee, actual fee, we have like this. Okay, so let's see what we can do is I have a field called, let me create one field called balance fee. Okay, number, let's say currency. This is actual fee, we have already the field, and then paid fee. May have paid fee, this is not required, they may have 0 or something also. Okay, what will be the default value? Default value should be 0. Okay, let me create another thing called balance fee. Balance fee required one. Now what I need to do is, whenever a new student is created, let's say okay, so when the new student is created, if the student fee is entered and then actual fee will be calculated, then what I need to do is I have to have the paid fee and balance fee. Okay, where are these two fields are not added? Okay, let's go to any student. So actually the classic version, you have the option to edit the layout there itself, edit layout. Here also you have another thing called edit page. This is called lightning app builder. Okay, this is lightning app builder. Here it is. So here you can have all the fields. Sorry. So what you can do is, using this one, you can do whatever you want, like related list you can add it, and then record detail page, all the things you can add here. So here, if you want to add some related list, you can add like this. Okay. So here, what type of related list you want to display here, you can select this. Let's say approval history or files, groups, notes and attachments, or student history. Whatever the things you want to have, you can add it. And there are different types of related list type: default, basic list, enhanced list. So usually what happens is, in lightning there will be only four fields will be shown in the related list. So if you want to display more than four fields, then you can go for the enhanced list. Okay, so an enhanced list, I see it. But let's say what should happen if you want to add a field to a layout. How can you do this? So here you have to add assign as or default desktop. Activation changed. Now here go to the page layout, edit the layout, add the fields whatever you have created. Fit. Here, so okay, the fields are there, means field level security is not given, so that's why it is not showing. Let's go to the field first. Okay, the fields are already there, sorry, I missed it. Okay, so whenever the new record is created or updated, means if the record is created or updated, what I need to do is I need to change the balance fee, calculate the field balance fee and paid fee as well. Okay, that means we have to just update based on the actual fee and paid fee, we have to display the balance fee, right? So that's like a formula, means actual fee minus paid fee, that will be the balance fee. So when it should be executed, whenever a record is created or updated as well. Okay, in that case what you can do is go to your workflow, add your action like field update. So here we'll update name is update balance fee. Okay, then here in the field update you have two types of fields, like one you can update at any time on the same object field. Let's say the balance fee is on the student object, and workflow is also on student object. So what you can do, you can update any field at any time. But if you want to update any parent record, let's say university, it should be in the master detail relationship. Okay, in field update, you can update any field on the same object, or you can update a parent field if those are in the master detail relationship. Okay, that is very much important point. And then here, let me select student only. Here, balance fee. So balance fee should be use some formula that's called actual fee minus paid fee. Now here, let's say, let me remove the welcome email first. Okay, means all logic only. First we have created two fields, and then for calculating the balance sheet we have created one field update on the same workflow. Now here, when the record is created or updated as well, let's select the here this one second option, because say let's say today the student record is created, he has not paid any amount, and next day he paid some amount, we have to update that as well, right? Means on editing also. Okay, but we have to see first thing. So if paid fee is zero, then what should we calculate? We don't need to calculate anything, right? But still we need to calculate balance fee, means actual fee minus that one, right? So let's use is changed off first one. If the balance fee, or let's say paid fee is updated, right? Paid fee is updated, or if the new record created, we have to calculate the balance fee. Let's say I just edit and updated some email alert, or updated some email or department, then why do we need to calculate the balance fee? Because the paid fee is not changed, right? So then what we can do is, you can have this one, the condition. This is done. Now let's see how it works. I'm student. Let's say simply if I edit, let's say I have edited simply Sai, right? Then I have not changed the balance fee or paid fee. So just simply click save. Then there will be no change here, right? And then here, if I change the paid fee, let's say paid fee is 5,000. Okay, now let's save. Balance fee equals 2. Update minus paid fee, right? actual student fee, but oh sorry, here we have given and condition. So there is no chance that the is changed and is new will be in the same criteria. We should use or. Now let's say update this to 500. Balance fee is updated. Okay. So if we use and condition, what will be the problem? So is changed of fee should be true and is new should be true. Both will not be true at a time, right? So then you should build the formula simply. So this is about field update and email alert. Okay. Then you have another thing called task creation. Okay, now another thing is, so here we have this second evaluation criteria called evaluate the rule when the record is created and every time it's edited. Means when the record is created as it is new, then automatically the workflow will be executed. Okay, so when the record is edited, if the paid fee is changed, then only it will be executed, because we are saying that is changed or paid fee is true, then only it will be. Okay, so that is our question. And then if you see here, when you select the first evaluation criteria called created, then there is an option to create the time dependent actions, right? So see this, what it is saying, that you cannot add time dependent workflow actions because your evaluation criteria is every time a record is created or edited. Okay, so on the second evaluation criteria you cannot create the time dependent actions. Means if you want to execute the actions after triggering this workflow, then you can't add the time dependent actions. So then what it should be, right? So the evaluation criteria should be created or created and anytime it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. Okay, so this is what the third evaluation criteria and first evaluation criteria. So first evaluation criteria, second evaluation criteria, these two are allowed for time dependent actions, but second evaluation criteria it is not allowed to add the time dependent actions. Be careful. Now here let me add this created and anytime it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. Okay, so now very simple. For your understanding, I'm giving like student balance fee greater than 5,000. Okay, means if student balance fee is greater than 5,000, I just need to send an email. And existing action. This is replaced. Okay, so I'm not adding time dependent actions for now. So what is the third evaluation criteria? First you have to understand this. Okay, so what happens is, see here, evaluate the rule when a record is created. Means whenever the record is created, if the condition is true, then workflow will be executed. Or Anytime it's edited to subsequently meet the criteria. Means to meet the criteria means whatever the condition you have given, if you edit the record to meet this criteria, then also the workflow will be executed. So third evaluation criteria means if condition came from false to true, then executed. Okay, if true to false, automatically will not be executed, no execution. From true to true, no execution. Okay, it means if you have 10,000, if you make it 15,000 also, this won't be executed because the condition is greater than 5,000 and that's already 10,000, means it's already executed, it won't execute again, right? Let's see how it works. What we are sending only email address, right? So let's change the balance fee. What you can do is you can change the balance fee. Okay, so this is the difference between workflow and field update. If you use if you use auto number or let's say formula field, using the formula field also you can calculate the balance fee, right? When it means actual fee minus paid fee will be the balance fee, right? That also formula field you can create. But if you create a formula field, then you cannot edit the field value. That's read-only field. But if you have field update in the workflow, the same formula can be evaluated and the value will be edited, and then here you can edit the value, right? Let's say I am having 4,000. Now condition is false, right? So then there will be no email alert which sent. See this. This one is already sent. So if you want to see this 949. Okay, there is no email alert. So now change this to 6,000. 6,000 means it's greater than 5,000. Automatically the workflow will be executed. Okay, now let's make it 6,000 to 10,000. So now also condition is true, but when you save it, the workflow will not be executed because the condition is already true and we have selected the third evaluation criteria. So that is the difference between the second and third. Second means it's blindly executes. If condition is true, then automatically the workflow will be executed. Third means it checks if the condition is already true or not. If the condition is already true, then it won't execute. If the condition came from false to true, then only the workflow will be executed. That is the major difference between second and third evaluation criteria. Okay? Any questions on this? New task you should execute. Create an object called employee. Okay, so on employee object create fields called emp name. Second one emp email. Guys, I'm saying that emp you have to give employee name, employee email, then employee salary, or you can say that name, email, salary, something like this. Salary, you can add this. Now what I need to do is I have to calculate the HRA, means 40% of salary, A traveling allowance, 2% of salary. So this should be calculated using workflow field update. Okay. Okay, so when the workflow should be executed and calculated, when the salary is updated, then only we have to calculate this HRA or TA, and salary should not be blank. Okay, and task is calculate HRA and TA using field update. Second one, send an send a welcome email to the employee on creation. Okay, and then again create a field called status. This is pick list, new, approved, in progress. So this is the thing, and then we can have declined or rejected. These are the pick list values. And then welcome net should be sent to the user on creation, and if the status is approved only.